Arch badge on the beat.
Hello people, David here, welcome to Btekt. I've got two of the best smartphone cameras on the market today, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro and the Google Pixel 3. I've just started a new channel where I'll be uploading all the footage that I get for when I do my phone reviews. This will be available for download too, and it's called Btekt Samples. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would go over there and check it out and leave me some feedback. So Mate 20 Pro versus Pixel 3. Let's see if 3 lenses is really better than 1. Now some people think you don't need 3 lenses, or even 2 lenses. They say it's a gimmick, and that all the capabilities that multiple lenses bring can be done with 1 lens. And Google have pretty much proved that. The camera on the Pixel 3 is pretty amazing, and I'm so happy that they included the new night sight feature. I'll be comparing the night sight with Huawei's night mode a bit later. But first, I just want to compare the designs, because I think they're beautiful devices. Okay, we're not going to mention that notch on the front, but the back of the Google Pixel 3 I think is really good looking. That soft textured back stops the fingerprints as well. You hardly ever see the fingerprints on this phone. The Mate 20 Pro has a similar thing with this hyper optical pattern on the back. It is resistant to the fingerprints and makes the phone highly scratch resistant. See, as somebody who shoots phones for a living, I'm so happy that companies are now starting to do something about those fingerprints. The worst phone that I shot this year for the fingerprints is the Galaxy S9. It's almost like you don't even have to touch that thing for it to get smudged. Whenever I shot the Galaxy S9, I'd spend most of my time just trying to get it clean, and probably wouldn't get it spotless anyway. It's a real pain, so I'm really happy that we're starting to see things like this. Staying on the back, obviously we've got the triple lens Leica Matrix camera system, which is still continuing to amaze me with the shots that it can produce. That ultra wide angle lens is just outstanding. The Google Pixel 3 also has an ultra wide angle lens, but unfortunately it's on the front, which for me isn't ideal. I mean, I'm not a selfie lover. If you are the type that loves to take pictures of yourself, then yeah, that's great. But an ultra wide angle lens isn't exactly flattering, so I don't understand why they put it on the front. I would have much preferred to see it on the back. Even though it's only got 1 lens on the back, the Pixel 3 seems to produce some of the best portrait shots that I've seen. In fact, I love both of these phones. These are 2 of the best phones, in my opinion, that you can buy right now. It's very hard to pick a fault with the Huawei, apart from the dodgy stabilization when the lights get a little bit low. But other than that, it's an amazing phone. And it's the same story with the Google Pixel. Apart from that massive notch at the top, there is nothing that anyone can complain about with this phone. In all areas, they're both great phones. But which one's got the best camera? Well, I've been out and about and I've taken a few shots, and we'll go through my samples in a sec and compare them. But first, I want to say a big thanks to Direct Mobiles. Always looking after us here at Btekt, a great place to go if you're looking for a new phone. They have over 23 years of award-winning customer service, which means you're in good hands. Check in the video description below for a link to their deals, or search directmobiles.co.uk. So I'm going to start with the video mode. Here we're shooting at 4K 30 frames per second on both phones, and they're both capable of stabilizing that footage. The Huawei stabilization, when it's working well, is one of the best on the market, and you can see that here. It's perfectly smooth. There is a little bit of swaying to and fro with the Pixel, but it's really not that bad, and both phones look great. Other than the stabilization, I think the Huawei does look a little bit nicer. I prefer the colors, I think, a little bit. Comparing the front video quality at 1080p 30 frames per second, and I think I like the look of the Huawei a bit more, but the Pixel 3 shows much more accurate colors. The front camera on the Huawei does try hard to flatter you with those beautifying effects. Moving on to the main cameras, and both of these phones give stunning HDR shots. The effect is very strong on both of them, but if you look closely, I do see a little bit more detail in the sky with the Huawei. I'm noticing a slight magenta tint on the Pixel and a slight green tint on the Huawei. I think this shot here illustrates why I think they should have put the ultra wide angle lens on the rear. This shot is taken at their maximum zoom ranges. It's 10 times for the Huawei and 8 times for the Pixel. And they both do an outstanding job. If you zoom all the way out, you can see how far away I really am. With the portrait shots, again, both phones are excellent. The Pixel is better at edge detection, and it can neatly cut out even a very complicated subject. This particular shot though, it did take about 3 or 4 minutes to actually process it. Yeah, it's a very complicated shot, and it done a pretty good job in the end, but when it comes to this stuff, the Pixel is the best. Having said that, to me, the Huawei's portrait mode creates more artistic shots, I think. Yeah, the edge detection isn't perfect, and nowhere near as good as the Pixel, but I love the shots that you get from it. And finally, I'm going to compare the night modes. Recently, the Pixel 3 had an update which gave it the new night sight mode in its camera app, which allows it to take pictures in almost total darkness, similar to the Huawei Mate 20 Pro with its night mode. In night mode with the Huawei, it will take around about 4 seconds to give you a good exposure in very low light conditions with no noise or very little noise and great sharpness. The Pixel 3 does a very similar thing now, although it will take a little bit less time to take the shot. Although I don't think it's quite as refined as Huawei's system yet. In these shots, there's no lights inside the park, so you cannot see anything. Yet they both do an incredible job of actually being able to produce an image. There seems to be a little bit more noise with the Pixel, although I'm sure this is something that Google will continue to develop. To me, the fact that any of these phones can do this at all is pretty amazing. But one advantage that the Pixel's night sight does have is that it can be used with the front camera, unlike the Mate 20 Pro. Like I said at the start, these are two of the best smartphone cameras that you can buy right now, so you're not really going to be disappointed with either one. Even if you are a serious photographer and you want the very best, personally I'd go for the Mate 20 Pro, just because it's more versatile. If you're more of a selfie/group selfie person, then go for the Pixel. I actually love both of these phones, and it'd be very hard for me to choose one. Anyway, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed my little comparison with the Mate 20 Pro and the Google Pixel 3. Lots more comparisons and reviews on the way. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, double tap the notification bell, and smash the like button for me. I'm David Wildman, and this was Btekt.
It's Archie Ginsburgh.